Hello YouTube, my name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka Vacates Snatch One, because I got playing around. As you can tell by the title by the thumbnail, this is my WWE NXT review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. Give this video at least 30 likes on this video. Follow my social media down below in the description. Go check out my WWE Raw review and highlights. And thank you guys so much for coming out to my live stream on Twitch for my WWE NXT watching on live reaction party. I'll gladly appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get started. Now WWE NXT was a solid show for what it was, and I give that show a solid 3 out of 10. It says right here, here's a place to check out results and comment along with the newest episode of WWE NXT airing live on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time slot on CW. Advertised for tonight, 2 title matches. Though neither are the NXT champions and a number one contenders match. Keelan Joy and John Grace have kicked up enough of an issue that they square up for the former TNA Knockout Championship. While Evolve Women's Champion Kendall Gray will put her title on the line against Slash Legend. The Speed Champion number one contender tournament will reach its conclusion when Axiom takes on Jasper Troy for the right to face El Grande Americano. And I can see Jasper Troy running through the entire tournament. But why would you put Lash Legend in a title match in a Raw Women's Championship title match against Kendall Gray? That doesn't even make sense. First you put her in the feud against Jada Parker that has no storyline, and now you have Lash Legend going after Kendall Gray's Evolve Women's Championship, that doesn't even make sense. Lash Legend needs to be booked better, and that's all I have to say. Alright. It says, come right back here at 8 p.m. Eastern Time when the NXT live blog kicks off. Once the show starts on CW, a running record of everything that happens will be below this line here. And enjoy the show. It says, the show opens with a recap of NXT Halloween Havoc, which that show was good by itself. What a moment by Tatum Paxley that Tatum Paxley won the NXT Championship at NXT Halloween Havoc. NXT Halloween Havoc was a good show, and that's all I gotta say. The montage of talent arriving at the arena is interrupted by Trick Williams in the control room yelling at the crew members and trying to hunt absolute Ricky Saints down. He rushes all the way down to the ring and get on the mic. He tells the crowd to shut up. He tells the crowd to shut up and tells Ricky Saints he gives him the best. He had a 99 time out of 100. He'll have beaten his you know what. He beat him like a drum, like a bomb that he is, and he demands one more title match, saying he is not leaving until he gets it. Alright, enter NXT General Manager Ava. Ava Rain flanked by security guards. Ava Rain says if he wants to have a conversation like an adult, he can do that. But this temper tantrum isn't going to do it. And there is no controversy. Trick Williams just lost. Trick Williams squatters and it says he's still the biggest star around and recounts his many achievements and accolades. Ricky Saints enter. He says that all real big talk for a guy got his you know what beat and security guards break them up as a brawl. But why are security guards breaking up a fight? Let Trick Williams and Ricky Saints brawl. The feud between Ricky Saints and Trick Williams is just getting started. It is far from over. Alright. But Trick Williams and Ricky Saints has been brawling throughout the entire show, and that's all I gotta say. We get a ridiculous, overhyped, and over-teased WrestleMania 42 hype reel, and we go to break. Alright, so we get the first match. Axiom versus Jasper Troy, WWE Speedman's Championship No One Contenders Tournament Finals. And I can see Jasper Troy winning throughout the entire tournament. He's going to go after Americano and become your new WWE Speedman's Championship. I can already see that. Once that happens, Jasper Troy needs to go after Ethan Page for the NXT North American Championship. I would love to see that. But this was a squash match. Y'all remember when Jasper Troy destroyed Zachary Wentz last week on NXT? Jasper Troy destroys Axiom, which is all called a straight down the middle. Axiom using his speed, problem kick big slap, ducking and dodging sleeper hold. Jasper Troy backs him into the corner. Luchador goes up and over it. As we see Rayo and Bravo watching in the crowd. Corner palm strike for Axiom. He gets caught and rammed into the corner, and then Jasper Troy lands a backbreaker hold for a moment, drawing Axiom back up. Northern Lariat. Jasper Troy gets a foot caught in the ropes, and Axiom lands a dragon screw. Missile drop kick counter a black hole slam into a sleeper off the ropes. Jasper Troy with a lariat, but he's gasping for air with 20 seconds on the clock. World's strongest slam off the ropes. Jasper Troy wins by pinfall with a back hole slam, becoming #1 contender to the WWE Speed Men's Championship. Bro, Axiom got destroyed by Jasper Troy, just like Zachary Wink got destroyed by Jasper Troy last week. Alright, backstage, Ava Rain chats with Saruka and Zarya. Ava Rain says she spoke to the doctor and Saruka's making a lot of progress, but she has no in-ring return date. Saruka says she's feeling better and she's not on the crutches anymore. Ava Rain asks about the WWE Speed Women's Championship, and Saruka says she's gonna just relinquish it and focus on her rehab and winning back both titles. Zarya not having it and storms off as Saruka hands the belt over. Ava Rain says there will be a tournament for it starting next week, and tells Saruka to take her time to heal. Bro, the look on Zarya's face, that she was pissed off and walked out of that room, that Saruka has to relinquish the WWE Speed Women's Championship. If Saruka is injured, she has no choice but to relinquish the WWE Speed Women's Championship. She has no choice. What more had this woman done? But anyway, it is what it is. But Saruka has that dog in her. But even though that Saruka has to relinquish the WWE Women's Speed Champion, Zarya got upset about it and she walked off. So it is what it is. And yeah, we see the Colin walking backstage to send us to commercial break. The Colin makes their entrance, and newly crowned NXT Women's Champion NXT Tatum Paxley gets on the mic. This was a good segment by Tatum Paxley. She lets out a big excited we did it, and Tatum Paxley chants rain down. She says she dreamed of this moment for so long, and NXT Halloween Havoc was the best night of her entire life, and she's decided to come back here and share it with everyone, which is facts by itself. That was a good moment when Tatum Paxley beat Jessie Jane to finally get her moment, and it finally happened at NXT Halloween Havoc. But it's not about her holding the title; it's about what the title represents. She never forgot the heartache she went through and get to this moment. When it felt like this moment was never going to come. Opportunities are rare, but when she got hers, she made the most of it. She knows she can be a little bit too much, but it's this creepy weirdo can be NXT Women's Champion than anyone can be, which is why she wants to be a fighting champion and open a fair door for every woman in the locker room. Izzy then cuts her off and says she doesn't picture her as that champion of champion, and all what she can use, all what she can lose the title as fast as she wanted. She says this is what love has been long for years for Tatum Paxley, but she made it, and no one is happier for her than she is. But she has to remember something. She chased the title for so long and came up short every time. And if it wears up to her, she makes everyone earn their spot, just like Tatum Paxley did. Tatum Paxley says no. She's going to do this, and give it. And Tatum Paxley says no. She's going to do this, and it's gonna be amazing. She here. We were upset we didn't have the will for Halloween Havoc, so she brought it back with a twist. She's gonna spin it whatever name comes up, gets a title match against her tonight. She lands the calling up to the stage and pulling the cover off the wheel. Izzy Dame tries to talk her out of it, and Sean Spears points out Izzy Dame name is on Izzy name is not on it. Tatum Paxley says, of course it isn't. They never fight for the title because nothing can become between them. Izzy Dame against tries to fight her, but Tatum Paxley insists Lola Vice has a match tonight. So you mean to tell me that Jessie J is not on the list, but Winnie Chu is, and May and what's her name? Marie still was it Mara still? But how did Winnie Chu get on the list, but Easy Dame and Jessie J not on it? But that's crazy, man. It is what it is. But still a good segment by Tatum Paxley. We cut backstage where Trick Williams is storming backstage looking for Ricky Sayers and Evan Rain. OTM are no help, and he walks past when Sinclair and Kendall Gray chatting. When Sinclair is doing a bad job at giving her pep talk about Lash Legend and Kendall Gray, she says not backing down, and tonight she's putting herself on the map. When Sinclair says Lash Legend find herself in the Kendall Gray arena, got it, get it, and tries to talk about the win corner catch crew. But Kendall Gray has to get going. When Sinclair hangs back, but Kendall Gray comes back and asks if she's not coming out to ringside, and when Sinclair runs along to send us to commercial break. So we get Kendall Gray versus Lash Legend Evolve Women's Championship. This was a squash match for what it was. But why would you have Lash Legend feud? Why would you have Lash Legend feud with Jada Parker? Feud against Jada Parker? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even have a storyline. To Lash Legend going after Evolve Women's Championship. That also has no storyline. That doesn't even make sense either. But Lash Legend needs to be booked better. And Lash Legend fits well with TNA. And you know I'm speaking facts. Alright, this was a squash match. Lash Legend shoving Kendall Gray around a little out the tags. Reverse chinlock applied. Swinging her around, then into a full on reverse chinlock swing. Kendall Gray up in the corner. Lash Legend charging and cuts off do. Lash Legend with the goals, and she shoves Kendall Gray to the floor. Back inside, Schoolboy for a two. Lash Legend blocks and arm drag, flying curve flick, cover for 2. Lash Legend stampedes her on to the corner. Kendall Gray tries for a sunset flip and falls. Lash Legend knocks her to the floor and lays her out with a big boot that sends us to commercial break. Why was this match not in picture? But you put the main event match in picture, but you can't put this match in picture. But it is what it is. I was trying to get my words right, but I correct myself. But anyway, back from commercial. Lash Legend is still in control. Kendall Gray fighting her way out, but Lash Legend clobbers her with a lariat. Lash Legend dragging Kendall Gray around the ring. The champion fighting back. Big back elbow. Lash Legend with their goals. Flow over shove. Off German suplex on the rebound. Kendall Gray slides through. Leg pick block with a kick. Back on the apron, slingshot drop kick, sling kick, and she dumps Lash Legend to the floor. Kendall Gray taking control, throwing Lash Legend back inside. Winston Clare cheering her on. Up top, diving crossbody, fireman's carry, headshot connects. Kendall Gray ducks a pump kick and hops up. Kendall Gray wins by pinfall with the Shades of Grey retaining the Evolve Women's Championship. This was a squash match. It is what it is. Post match, Win Sinclair and Kendall Gray throw up the Kona Cash Crew handshake together. We get dueling social media promos from Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights about their match, and we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Lola Vice and Tana Passy chat backstage. Lola Vice congratulates Tana Passy on her victory and apologized in advance for knocking her out and becoming the next NXT Women's Champion. Tana Passy says she loves her passion and she works her off for the title, but nobody getting an easy win out of her. Easy Dane rolls up to try to convince Tana Passy that chatting with Lola Vice is bad idea, but Tana Passy isn't having it. So we get a recap. Of Trick Williams and Ricky Saints brawling in our open segment. So we get Miles Bourne versus Tavion Heights. This was a decent match, of my opinion. Collar and elbow struggle around the ring. Tavion Heights with a go behind leg pick, side headlock. Miles Bourne posts up a knee and backs on his feet. Reverse to a side headlock of his own. Sunset flip for a 2 count. Tavion Heights with a schoolboy. Also two, Miles Bourne with a perfect, and then Heights with an Oklahoma Slam. So no finish. Backstage attempt. Miles Bourne floats over Stillman and on counters. Height kicks him away. They shake hands. Tavion Heights pulls him in for a headlock. Land that takeover head scissors counter issue. Same sequence, run it back. A third headlock takeover and it's like watching Ed Strangler Lewis all over again. We see kids. The Stranger Hole was a headlock takeover, and he won by DDT a lot, and this couple lady, his opponent, may have been the first ever volume finish, paving the way for Chris Hero and Shinsuke Nakamura. Miles Bourne fights out high crossbody side headlock short off Tavion Heights with a big lariat, no deal. Back from commercial, Josh Ritz has joined the commentary team. Why was Josh Ritz out there to begin with? Moonsault from Miles Bourne cover for 2. Tavion Heights grabs an ankle lock. Miles Bourne crawling despite and he rolls Tavion Heights hard into the turnbuckles, trading punches in the middle of the ring. Snap, scoop, power slam from Miles Bourne cover for 2. Off the ropes, belly to belly suplex, cover for 2. Tavion Heights to the floor, jawing at Josh Riggs. Josh Riggs gets up from commentary and run interference. Tavion Heights drop him with an elbow, and Miles Bourne dives on both of them with a crossbody to the floor. I'm sorry. Back inside drop kick. Tavion Heights hangs onto the ropes and to block Miles Bourne gets the better of him. The winner of the match, Miles Bourne, wins by pinfall with a small package. The beginning of the match, they was doing nothing but small package, but the second match picked up right before the third. Alright. Post-match, Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne embrace. As Tavion Heights goes to leave, Josh Ritz attacks him as Miles Bourne tries to decide where to intervene. Trick Williams attacks him from behind with a steel chair. Trick Williams calls Ricky Saints out and rush down, and the brawl continues as security tries to pull both men apart. Ricky Saints dives off the steel steps, and we cut away. I'm sorry. We see Kendall Gray. I'm sorry. We see Kehlani Jordan, working out backstage. The caller makes their entrance to send us to commercial break. Back from the break, All Ego, Ethan Page, and Chelsea Green are walking and talking about their AAA Men's Tag Team Championships match coming up. Page asks Chelsea Green to figure out the security situation, and Ethan Page likes their dynamic, but asks about his efforts to replace Piper Niven. Theo Hill sings Joe Hendry's theme song. He pops out of a trash can. He offers some advice for their tag title match, but Ethan Page isn't interested, and they walk off. Theo Hill returns and wheels Joe off the trash can. All right, so we get the next match: Lola Vice versus Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's Championship. And this was a decent match. Lola Vice with a headlock takeover. Tatum Paxley bridges into a pin, but she digests another pin. Lola Vice wrenches it back. Tatum Paxley swings around and gets to her feet, stepping over, reverse to a side headlock of her own. Tatum takeover follows. Lola Vice reverses a headlock, smashing Tatum Paxley's face into her a few times for good measures. Shifting to a cross armbar, Tatum Paxley keeps her hands clasped and fights out of a big drop kick, corner crossbody whips across. Lola Vice sidesteps a second, punches Abraham and Abraham press arm drag, and Wiggins watching the wrist lock and shifting to a top wrist lock, trying to keep Lola Vice grounded as see a pissed off Fatal Influence arriving at the arena. Lola Vice reversed to a triangle choke. Pin forced to break off the ropes. Lola Vice, whip across. Tatum Paxley slides low to Doug a kick. Does a kick. Fatal Influence arrive at ringside and beat Easy Dame up, throwing her into the barricade. Tatum Paxley and Lola Vice go back to back match forgotten as Fatal Influence surrounded them on three sides of the ring. So you already know NXT next week we about to get a 6-woman tag team match, and that's all I gotta say. That the match goes to a no contest presumably. Post match, the brawl continues with the demand numbers game, working out for a Fatal Influence, taking Lola Vice taking care of Tatum Paxley mounts a valiant defense, but she gets boots put up her rolling elbow. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, new crowned NXT Women's Champion. Back from commercial, newly crowned NXT Women's North American Champion Blake Monroe sends a promo in from her bathtub with a Maybelline liquid lipstick on the edge of the tub. As one does, she warns the locker room about chasing after her and says her first title defense will be in New York City. We see an NXT Anonymous video where Javon Evans is chatting on the phone with Leon Slater about the show so far. Talk about going after tag titles. Darkstay rolls up to tell him he's out of his mind, and if he thinks an exhibition match against Mr. Iguana and La Porca is enough to earn a shot against the ones who beat the GOAT and promise to see real soon. Now it is what it is, man. So yeah, let me take a sip of my water before I continue. Commentary hype up next week's show. Jordan Grace makes her entrance to send us to commercial break. Back from commercial, we get some hype for this year's NXT deadline. So we'll go our interview on their way out of the arena. Zarya says she entered the speed tournament and winning the title back for both of them. Fatal Influence rolled up and Jesse Jane tells her to shut it. And she's not only woman who lost a title this week, and says that she and Fatal Influence are going to take it to Lola Vice and the distaff portion of the call-in next week. We get another recap of Trick Williams and Ricky Saints brawling earlier in the show. So we get the next match, the main event of the evening: Jordan Grace versus Keilani Jordan for the TNA Knockouts World Champion. If Keilani Jordan is a NXT superstar, why is she holding the TNA Knockouts World Champion? That is weird by itself. But this main event, it wasn't bad. I might as well say it was just fine for what it was. Filling out, Keilani Jordan lands on her feet off a back suplex off the ropes till they whirl. Jordan Grace shows her way, swings her aside, catches a boot, but Keilani Jordan slaps her across the face. About a quadruple jump to the apron, Jordan Grace cuts her off in the ropes, juggling for position. Keilani Jordan trips her up in the ropes. Keilani Jordan off the top with a big splash, and Jordan Grace crashes to the floor. Slingshot to the apron. Moonsault connects. The champion keeps up, fired up, and we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break. Trade and elbow from their knees and to their feet. Keilani Jordan wins the exchange. Kick combo. Jordan Grace blocks one and halt off with a slap and a slam. Another scoop slam. Another scoop and a slam. Keilani Jordan floats over a third and chop blocks her. Charging in, Jordan Grace grabs a backslide position and rams her into the turnbuckles a few times. Roll her through. Larry connects. Off the ropes, big spinning spine buster connects, but the champion kicks out. Jordan Grace ducks a kick. Keilani Jordan gets her on the rebound. Low crossbody, but Jordan Grace catches her and rolls through. Fireman's carry. Keilani Jordan slips out onto her feet. Handspring splits on the note, fighting hard in the corner. Jordan Grace slips, and Keilani Jordan lands a double stomp. Pick the leg, charge leg, thinking half crab. Jordan Grace out with up kick, roll through, kneeling, powerbomb. So close, Argentine backbreaker, rack. Keilani Jordan counters to a victory roll pin for 2. Super kick connects. Jordan Grace slip out to the apron and goes up top. Keilani Jordan climbs up right after her. Avalanche Spanish Fly by Juggernaut Jordan. Avalanche Spanish Fly, but Keilani Jordan Grace kicks out. Trick Williams and Ricky Saints brawl out down the ramp. Keilani Jordan decides to take advantage of the distraction and grabs the TNA Knockouts World Championship belt. Jordan Grace from behind. Chaos Theory almost does the deal. Ricky Saints and Trick Williams brawl through the ring. Keilani Jordan grabs the belt again, and this time she clocks Jordan Grace with it. Keilani Jordan wins by pinfall with a leader press, retaining the TNA Knockouts World Champion. Keilani Jordan cheated. While the referee's back was turned, Keilani Jordan cheated and hits Juggernaut Jordan Grace with a TNA Knockouts Championship. That was the main event match was fine for what it was. Post match, Trick Williams and Ricky Saints are still brawling. Ricky Saints speared Trick Williams through the wall. near the timekeeper's area. All right. Avery Rain comes out to ringside and says if they want to fight, they can do it until they can't stand anyone anymore. 2 weeks from now, last man standing. They resume brawl and security resume trying to pull them apart. We out we out of time. That's the show, folks. And WWE NXT goes off the air. Now let me get my opinion what I think about WWE NXT. Yeah, WWE NXT was a solid show, and I give that show a solid 3 out of 10. If you guys enjoy my WWE NXT review on highlights, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Give this video at least 30 likes in this video. Comment down below what you guys think of WWE NXT. Follow my social media down below in the description. And thank you guys so much for coming out to my live stream on Twitch for some WWE NXT watching on live reaction party. I totally appreciate it. It is what it is, man. So yeah, follow my social media down below in the description, and go check out my WWE Raw review house I posted on the channel yesterday. Alright, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for my AEW Dynamite review and highlights, and that's all I gotta say. And I will see you guys in my upcoming world premiere for my WWE NXT review and highlights at around 5 o'clock a.m. on YouTube. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.